Hi, everybody. This is Ernie Hayden to tell you about our Ginny and my day trip to Delft in the Netherlands back on the 12th of November when we were visiting that beautiful country. It's a wonderful town. It's called Mini Amsterdam, and it was just absolutely beautiful and quaint. We took the train from Amsterdam to Delft via The Hague, and it's about an hour train ride. Very, very nice. Get to see the beautiful countryside of the Netherlands, beautiful green area. We arrived at the train station, which is that large glass building on the left. Very, very modern, recently built. And the first thing you see when you go out to the canal is the quintessential windmill in the distance. So it's pretty neat. Well, we walked over to the porcelain factory for Royal Delft, which is a combination museum and factory. And they have you go through the museum first before you go see the factory. And frankly, that was really a good idea because you got a chance to see a lot of the different pieces from back in the 1650s to current time. And here's some photographs of some of the pieces that we saw. These are probably from the older time periods in the different cases. These plates were made for the King of the Netherlands, and there's a large mural of a rework of the Night Watch, which is a Rembrandt painting. And one individual at the factory decided to rebuild or remake this particular mural using the Delft blue ink and firing process. And it's really pretty spectacular, and you can see it's very, very big. All right, well, the process starts, of course, with clay, and the clay is then formed into molds and formed into greenware, and then the greenware is marked with essentially carbon paper and pinpricks to identify the different patterns. The patterns are then painted with a cobalt type of paint that when it gets fired and glazed, it turns a beautiful blue, which the Royal Delft is famous for. Each piece is marked with its own trademark, and this is an example of what it looks like for a particular painter. Now, we're going to see in a moment, there's another painter that we happen to be seeing do his work, and over his right shoulder is his trademark, if you will, for when he's doing work. Here he is working on a plate that's a Christmas plate for this year, and he's in the process of painting the fine details on the greenware in preparation for ultimate firing and so forth. It was really a neat process. It's a great museum and a great factory tour. Really enjoyed it. Well, we started to walk back towards the train station, and here's just some things we saw as we were walking back, including a coot, because I'm a birder and so is Ginny. We saw a coot. It was fun to see the rowers on the canal to pass by us. Okay, we headed back to the train station, and now we started walking towards the Vermeer Center, where Johannes Vermeer lived when he lived and painted in Delft. That church there is the old church, and yes, the building is actually tilted. And there's one of the canals called the Old Delft Canal. Beautiful scenery, and a lot of houses, as you can see, and this one I thought was interesting because it was a very tiny house just tucked in between other houses. And as usual, we always look up and we saw interesting things. But the town itself is really spectacularly beautiful and just really, really nice. We arrived at the Vermeer Center, And the Vermeer Center it's not a museum, it's actually just an exhibition of reproductions of his paintings. And it's done in chronological order, so you can see his first painting to his last. And of course, one of the paintings that's shown, again, a reproduction, is the girl with a pearl earring, otherwise referred to as the Netherlands Mona Lisa. And we actually saw the actual painting over in The Hague at the Mauritius Museum. Well, interestingly enough, a painting that was done by Vermeer a few years previously is this one here, A Study of a Young Woman, which is probably the precursor to his woman with the pearl earring. And there's a very famous painting that was done by Vermeer of a woman writing a letter, and the maid was standing next to a window waiting for the maid to the mistress to finish the letter so she could take and mail it. Well, they actually have a place in the building with the actual window, and I had Ginny staying there. And yes, there are parodies that you can be seeing at the exhibition. And strangely enough, there's one of them, and they're for sale. So if you wish to have 350 euros and buy them, go for it. Well, we left Vermeer's house and just started walking back towards the train station. And here we are at the main plots, or the main market, and that's the city hall. And at the other end is the new church, which is a very beautiful, exquisite building. And again, ultimately we walked back, finally got back to the train station, and went ahead and got on the train and headed back to Amsterdam. I hope you enjoyed this, and look forward to any feedback you might have.